Welcome to Up North. My heart's still a bit bruised after being broken last night. There is a pulse of positivity in there, and many of those I'm sure will get touched on. But the head's ruling here, going, players, we need to bring exactly that effort and game plan next week against the Demons. A little bit, because that's my one trip to Melbourne each year, and I'll be there in person. But some of our biggest disappointments this year were the first time we played the Weagles. We had a 4-quarter effort versus Port Adelaide. And after a great first quarter against West Coast, we rolled over. What a stirring come from behind win over the Suns earlier. And then after the break, we totally didn't turn up for Fremantle. So mixed emotions. I always try and think the glass is half full, but we need to look ahead as well. Welcome to Up North, a podcast where one Roos supporter talks to another. So the siren says we went down by 4 points. An incredibly close game at the end of each quarter. I think the biggest margin was 6 points at the end of the first quarter. We managed to win the second and third quarters. And really, we should have been ahead at 3-quarter time. But that last clearance, they just waltzed through and got a goal to McStay. I mean, a good contested mark. Just wasn't good enough. And then in the last quarter, of course, we managed to get ahead by about 10 points, but we missed a couple of opportunities to seal the game. So disappointing night. Nick Larkey and PC both get 3 goals, which is positive, and Jai Simpkin led the way with our possessions. How did our wins go? Well, PC, what a point of difference. Certainly missed him. Quite obvious in the first quarter to commentary and social media that he was a bit tentative tackling, but he got an early goal and he was away after that. Matt Whitlock, probably not quite ready, but he's worked hard. I loved how he kept presenting. I know in Q4 he shows as having 0 disposals, but he did take the body slam, which set up the goal for Nick Larkey, his last goal of the match. But I like how the kid keeps presenting and contesting. Wasn't so good in Q3 though, when he took the Mark 55 out and looked like a baby deer in the headlights. Either have a go at a torp or set it up early, but he dithered. Pies got back, and then the choice he chose was Simpkin on a very difficult angle. Zach Banshee certainly busy, and he promises a lot. He runs, he links, he harasses. I wonder how close to his ceiling he is. He's still not the crumbing forward we need up forward, the opportunist. And that's a couple of times now he hasn't been able to take his chances. But once again, he needs a couple more games before the end of the season. And our final in, Stiffy Hardiman. Very solid first game back. A goal from 70 metres. I mean, it just had to be Riley. His kicks just always go 5-10 metres further than anybody thinks. I don't know what it is. But I just love his efforts in defence, his spoils, his harassing, his tackling. So I'm not sure they play every game for the rest of this season apart from PC, but I certainly hope they get a run at it coming up. The only positive about Bamlai's going out injured is it makes it easy for us to bring Goda back next week. I don't want to get into the argument about the judiciary. It looks pretty similar to PC. I know the commentators were saying that he shouldn't get suspended, but as Richo said, he didn't think Paul Curtis should get suspended, and he did. But hey, Pies, if you want, we know some lawyers that can help you out. And a Kanga comment, I don't know why people are criticising David King for fireball on Friday, suggesting North might not win another game this season. There aren't no gimmies. There are, a bit like Collingwood last night, possibles. But I don't think there's a probable left in the season. I want 2 more wins. 10 wins would sound great. I don't want our players being heartbroken each week. More importantly, I don't want our players just turning up and giving us a no-show. So there is heaps to play for. And let's be honest, a lot of us in that little dark place of our heart are considering that we might not get another win this season. And I don't think that reflects on the club or Clarko. We've come a long way, but we need to go further. And Dave King, please keep calling it. Same as Marnie on Kanga TV. Some of you didn't like her Richmond roundup, but wear your heart on your sleeves. I love that people still care about this club after this decade. You know, another one of our firsts for the decade, having a Friday night game. Kanga Court moment, Q3, Cooper Trenbath's tackle. He had no right, I've forgotten the Collingwood player's name now, but he was stepped, he had no right, and just pure strength to hold on, poor disposal, and he gets the free kick. For people saying he should be a forward, go back and watch the highlights of Corey McKernan. I didn't see it early on, but the more I watch this kid, the more he reminds me of how Corey McKernan could actually turn a game either as a forward, in the centre bounces, Corey had a great jump, or playing behind the ball. And that was also an era where particularly Matty Capuano was his partner in crime through our premiership years. So Cooper and X, yeah, it looks great. Shinboner of the day, and this could be the only time I pick one from the VFL. Ollie Griffin, goal in the third quarter. If you haven't seen it, go to The Thinker on X. He's got the clip there. I think he got it from the VFL website. But what's not shown in that video is it's a pretty ordinary delivery into forward 50. There are 3 pies near the boundary, and it's Ollie. And he harasses him, makes 3 tackles in a row, delays the ball coming out, which is something in that game because they run it with ease in the VFL as well. When they finally get a kick away, the cavalry's arrived and it's smothered over the boundary. And then we pick up that play where from the boundary throw in, we win the clearance and Ollie snaps a magnificent miracle goal. So Shinboner of the day, Ollie Griffin, he's coming into the team. I don't know who for, but yeah, he's coming. Watch the VFL highlights the last few weeks just for Ollie. Breeding season's nearly on us. Isn't it nice not to be looking at who pick 3 this year's going to be? Because let's be honest, Stewie Cochrane's son or Walker Boys going 1 or 2, 1 and 2. But one thing I will say, if Zach Bailey in Brisbane is worth 10 million over 7 years, let's get our leadership on board. And Darcy Wilson, let's give him 10 million over 7 years. We need another A-grade midfielder. At worst, Darcy's going to be a B-grade midfielder. And grab the headline, give him $2 million in the first year or the second year, front load the contract, get Darcy Wilson in, or make life for St Kilda very, very hard with their salary cap. And the other one is Lockie Ash. When I first heard that, I thought he's old, he's injury riddled. I think he'll be 27 next year, and we are not at a stage where we can sneeze at talent. We need competition in the VFL. We need A and B graders on the field, and Lockie Ash will certainly give other sides headaches. But, you know, if Spargo, Darling, Parker and Caleb Daniel are the best we can recruit, they're doing a great job for us, and I'm glad we've got 3 of those 4. Charlie, I think he needs another pre-season to get over his injuries. But we really need to get talent in the door. Krucheski, I'm just going to call him Gru now, Charlie Ballard or Jordan Butts, yeah, they're going to be handy, but they're really not going to move our needle much. So splash the cash and have a red hot crack at Darcy Wilson, please. I'm Lyle from up north. My tagline so far has been 5 minutes, and I'm sure I've gone over that when I piece this all together. Thanks for listening. Stay positive, Shinboners, and until next time, up north!